What is going on, guys? It's Nick again here today. So today what we're going to do is we're going to work through tutorial number 2 in Python, and we're going to be once again using the library pandas to analyze some data. And we're also going to touch on Matplot library as well to look at some visualizations of a data set. So we're going to carry on from the last video to sort of start off with. So we're going to go here and we're going to go import pandas as PD. We're going to go import df equals pd dot read underscore Excel. Okay, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to go for the location again. So up here. So today we're going to look at the supermarket data set again. So I'm going to look at January. We're going to go down to here's path. We're going to slip this in. We're going to put an R in front here for read. Okay, and then we're going to go down to print df dot columns. Okay, we're going to run that, make sure we're good. All right, so we've got our variables down here. So product line, unit price, quantity, max 5%, total date month, gross margin percentage, etc. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we from this data set that we've just opened up, we've done a different data set here to what we did last time. We are going to now do a pivot table in Pandas. So just like you would quickly do in Excel, we're going to do a pivot table here today using Python to get a similar result or the same result. Okay, so to do this, we go pivot underscore table, and then we go equals df. So pivot table equals df. We could still see it all there. You could just go tab in PyCharm like that, and then just fill in the values. That's the great thing about PyCharm is it auto suggests for you. So when you're learning Python, it's quite good. So we've got customer product and price here. It's just kind of given us, you know, customer product and price based on the variables down here, but they might not be the variables that you want to do. So let's just go here. We're looking for an index. So index is typically like filter kind of thing. I think would sort of use in Excel if I'm not mistaken. And then we would go payment type here because what we want to do, the question is we are looking to find paid in by card and give us the differentials of all those different product lines for the month of January, if that makes sense. So basically, in this instance, what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out how how many products have been sort of paid for by cash, by card, and other payment methods for the month of January for this particular supermarket in this data set. Okay. We could do this as on a pivot table, as mentioned before in Excel, but today we're looking at doing this via Python. So size, okay, and then what we're going to do is going to go fill value equals 0. Okay, what that does is that just stops us from, having sort of blank values there. If there's no data on a particular field, it'll just come up with 0. Okay, next one, we're going to go pivot table, pivot underscore table. I'm going to go print, sorry, let's go straight to print. So print, and we're going to go pivot underscore table. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So here we've got the pivot table. So as we can sort of see here on the screen, you can see each product type or product line. So we've got electronic accessories, fashion accessories, food and beverages, health and beauty, home and lifestyle, sports and travel. Okay. So I'm looking at in January how many electronic accessories were paid for by cash. There was 3. 2 were paid for by credit card, and 1 was paid for by eWallet and so forth there for all the different categories. Now, if I just want to show you just quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up this in Excel. So that way, what you can see is you can see the exact same information on a pivot table. Okay, so that's exactly what it would look like on a pivot table. It's the same thing, 3, 2, 1. And you sort of have a bit of a look there. And you don't have the totals here because I haven't put in the total commands in Python, but all this is all the same. And you can basically see here the payment types in columns, product lines in rows, and counter product line names and values. Okay, so it's as simple as that, doing it in Python. So I have to close this. Okay, so now we've done that pivot table, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to parting this information next. So how would you do a bar graph? Because obviously in Excel you would just go, insert chart based on the pivot table, and you would have pivot table data, and you would have that information. Here, what we want to do is how do we do that in Python? So we have to import another library, which is called the Matplot library. So before I get to that, basically this is what was covered in the first tutorial. And then what you want to do a pivot table, you are adding this, okay? So this is import the data set from Excel. This is print to show the columns and the variables. Then you're going here to pivot table and you're putting in the variables that you want to analyze, okay? So index equals product line, columns equals payment type, and then it's sort of from there you change it around based on what you're looking to do within that pivot table, okay? But that's just sort of a great place to sort of start and just start basic and build up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change some of this code a little bit to bring in Matplot. So I'm going to go import Matplot. I'm going to go tab here. So Matplot library, pyplot as PLT is correct. This stays the same. We don't need print here because we're not going to run that for the particular section. Pivot underscore table, that will all stay the same. What we need to do next is we need to add in another line of code for the plot. So it would be pivot underscore table dot plot find equal bar. Find equals bar pivot underscore table dot plot find equals bar. And then we go fig size equals, and basically that's just talking about the size of the graph. So I'm just going to go 10.6 here. You're going 10.6. Okay, and then we've just got to specify the plot title now. So we're going to go plt.title. So we would go here and we would go payment type by product line. And underneath that, we would go plt dot label product line. And we would go then to plt dot ylabel number of transactions. Okay, so we're just putting our variables in there. So that's the x-axis would be product line, and the y-axis would be number of transactions, so number of transactions on the vertical and product line on the horizontal. Okay, and what we're going to do here is we're just going to go plt dot show. Okay, and straight away I can just see something that's wrong with the code here. So it's very got to be careful just to make sure that you're getting your code correct as you go, having a bit of a look over it, especially when you're just starting out. We go play or run. Okay, there's my graph there.